Well, hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It is great to be with you here on Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so glad to have you with me here. It is a wonderful, fantastic evening, and we have a great show for you. So, if you're new to Inspirations for Your Life, well, I invite you to help enjoy the show. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back. Thank you for coming the first time. Thank you for coming back. We have a great show for you, and this is the place where I inspire you. If you haven't had a chance to check out believemeachieve.com, go ahead and do that after the show, which is available 24 hours a day. So, welcome everyone. And before I officially kick the show off, if you're hungry, you're thirsty, I don't want you to be parched or to be starving. Go get something and come on back and enjoy the show with me. All right. So this is day 7. We go from Saturday to Friday. That's how our weeks go. And on Friday, it's day 7. So that's the wrap up of the master topic for the whole week. What was that master topic? Well, I thought you'd never ask me. The master topic this week was the core that endures. I love that. I mean, that's an amazing one, right? And so tonight, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to Inspirations for Your Life with myself, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, and podcast coach. I am passionate about helping you unlock your full potential, elevate your leadership, and navigate life with clarity, courage, and authenticity. Every episode is designed to challenge what you think you know, push you toward growth, and leave you with actionable insights to live a more, well, let's say, fulfilling, empowered life. So let's dive in, everyone. Number 1 is trends fade and truth doesn't. In a world, I should say, that chases the latest fads, true value is timeless. What lasts isn't always flashy, it's authentic, tested, and resilient. This episode is about spotting the real from the temporary and anchoring your life in what truly matters. Number 2, guys, time proves what's real. I know we're in a rush sometimes to always get what we think is real, but sometimes we have to understand that by separating the smoke from the fire. Over time, well, illusions just disappear. And the things built on integrity, skill, and effort, well, they continue to endure. We explore how patience and long term thinking reveal the genuine opportunities and relationships in your life. Number 3, guys, hype dies, reality lasts. The flashy promotions, viral trends, and social media noise are exciting, but they're fleeting. Real impact, lasting influence, and meaningful work are what stand the test of time. So let's talk about building beyond the hype, shall we? Sure. I think a lot of times people, they get people built up and they make it more than what it really is. And I kind of call this clickbait because that's what they're doing. It's like they're putting a title to get you to click on a video, but the video is really not about how to make popcorn. It's about something completely different. Maybe you didn't care about the topic that was in there. Maybe it was a topic about how to lose weight or how to hike healthy. You didn't care about making popcorn, right? But that's what the video is about. But it got you to click on it because, you thought for one reason that it was about how to make popcorn. All the other stuff really didn't matter so much to you. So number 4, guys, illusions fade, lessons stay. Even mistakes, failures, and false starts leave behind wisdom. What seems like a setback today may become, well, tomorrow's greatest lesson. In the episode, I want to let you know that highlights how to extract lessons from every experience and apply them strategically. We've all had situations that we're not happy with. And I don't want to tell you to harp on that because that's not healthy. What I do want to let you know is that you have to pay attention to the situation and extract out what it is you learn from that, okay? Keep the lesson and throw away everything else, all right? You learn the lesson, you don't do it again, otherwise history is going to make you, repeat it over and over again. Number 5, guys, what's fake withers. Now, not right away, but eventually. What's real will grow to the top. Authenticity isn't just admirable, it's sustainable. So, fake systems, shallow connections, and superficial work eventually collapse, while real efforts, genuine relationships, and meaningful contributions thrive. And I know because you might be looking at what the Joneses are doing or somebody else is doing. You're like, well, they're not doing it that way. You can't live your life looking out somebody else's window, right? You have to realize that you have your own special gifts, your own skills, and it's up to you to cultivate, to work them, and to develop them. That's really an important thing. Number six, guys, masks slip. People sometimes put these masks on to hide who they really are. We say they're sometimes two faced. And so sometimes they get so confused in what they're doing that they slip. They forget to put the mask back on, right? Authenticity always shines. Everyone wears masks at some point. The difference is in removing them and showing up fully as yourself. So, understanding this is important. And to embrace authenticity in both life and leadership, that's important too. So be who you are. Don't be someone else. You are a great person. And just be you. Again, that means whether that's your life, whether that's what you believe in, what you don't believe in, and understanding that what you do, other people might not see as right, but what you do is you. Be proud of who you are. Celebrate you every single day because there's no one else in this entire world, this universe, exactly like you. So celebrate your traits. You might have some flaws, but that's what makes us all unique. And those flaws can help us learn so we can become a better version of ourselves. Number seven, guys, filters fade. You know, you can work so hard to hide something, and then the filter just doesn't seem to work anymore. Character remains through the thick and the thin. In a digital world of filters and curated personas, right, avatars, true character shines through all the time. Reputation, reliability, and integrity can't be faked. And they make all the difference in the world. But I know a lot of people think that they can just throw that on right now because that's what they believe in. But that's not the truth, guys. It is not the truth. Number eight, noise fades, power endures. Now, that doesn't mean for you to get up there and scream and yell and be powerful. That's going to captivate some people. But then you know what happens the next time? They're not going to want to pay attention to you. So power always endures. Loud voices, I said, grab attention, but the steady, the consistent, the action creates influence and authority. So somebody might pay attention to you because you're loud or because you're screaming, but you're not really gaining their respect. It's just you're captivating their attention through their eyes or through their ears, and they want to just see like what's going on, but they're not going to keep paying attention to you. So don't live a lifestyle like that. Learn how to focus on what matters and let real power grow quietly but surely. I said this before, guys. What we do quietly is what helps us become a success, not what we bolster on a highway or on a street corner. Number nine, truth needs no polish. You tell the truth. Genuine ideas and authentic leadership stand on their own. You see, guys, you don't need gimmicks. You don't need fads. You don't need clickbait or exaggeration. Truth resonates and attracts naturally. I know some people say, well, I gotta spoof it up or, I've gotta impress somebody. No, you don't need to do that. You need to be the true person you are. Because when you are true, you might have less followers at first. But as you progress, you know what happens? More people will say, oh, wait a minute, I got to pay attention to this person. Number 10, guys, waves crash like at the sea, but the rocks always stand. The waves crash, but the rocks always stand. Life will throw challenges, criticism, and chaos at you. It's part of life. The key is building solid foundations that allow you to stay grounded no matter what the storm is. I know you might be saying, oh, this is impossible. How am I going to get through this? Right. And we can think of a typical storm, right? I remember coming home from class at college a couple months ago, and it was in summer term. And I remember that I didn't have an umbrella with me. I said, oh, do you have an umbrella? So first thing I'm thinking is I have to go get an umbrella. But maybe 5 or 10 minutes just after that, security comes to my table. Says, the university is closing. You have to get out of here. The university is closing at 3. So I go downstairs to the bookstore because they were closing at 3. It was like 2:15. Went to get an umbrella, which was not a great umbrella because that's all they had. And I bought this overpriced umbrella for a piece of junk, basically, but I had it. Then I walked outside and I opened it. And as I opened the umbrella, I realized one thing. I realized that I could barely keep the umbrella even open because it was like very flimsy. It wasn't a great umbrella. And then as I'm walking through this very vicious storm, I noticed there's thunder and there's lightning. And I'm walking under high power lines. And I'm like, John, what the heck are you doing? You're walking with a metal umbrella, okay, in the water, getting soaked under electrical line. I said, you know what? I'm better off to put the umbrella away, close it, and walk faster. Even though I'm getting wet, at least I won't be a high point, so lightning could potentially strike me. So that was a storm. I got through it. I got in the car. My clothes were soaked and stuck to my skin. But it was a storm. I got through that moment. And you can get through it, whether it's a physical storm, whatever storm it is. We had another storm when I was younger in our beach house before we rebuilt down the shore. I remember being home, remember sitting on our couch. And I also remember the thunder and the lightning. And we were always taught that, like go by the wood, kind of stay by something wood. And just hearing the crackling of the thunder and seeing the lightning and, the spontaneous actions of it were a little startling. And then all of a sudden, my mom decided to answer the phone. No big deal. We figured, right? So she gets on the phone. She's talking to somebody. I think it was my grandmother because they had already got home. And so when they drove home, she wanted to call and let her know everything was okay. So she's talking. And I'm like, Mom, you really should get off the phone. She's like, oh, I know. I'll get off in a few minutes. And she's on the phone. And guess what happened a few seconds later? Crack. Bang. Ma, I got to call you back. She hangs up the phone. What was that? We got hit by lightning. And so then I explained to her how it happened. I said, you don't want to be on the phone when there's a lightning storm because you actually cause it to attract to us like a magnet. And I remember we're sitting there, and a few hours later, we're actually smelling something like it's burning. So we call the fire department. We call 911. And we go to our neighbor next door. My dad stays at the house and waits for the fire department to come. And apparently it was just basically the lightning that struck that basically singed some stuff outside and was burning. Nothing that they had to put out, but that lightning literally made a burn smell. And that was a little scary. But, we got through that storm. Now with that wisdom, I am a lot smarter when it comes to a storm. I don't get on the cell phone or the telephone. I get the heck off that. I stay away from windows. I don't go near water. I don't go near metal. And I just kind of take it easy. That's what I do. And that's the most important thing. Now, another thing my grandfather taught me when he was alive is that, John, if you're driving, you're actually in a good spot. And I was like, hi, you lost metal. Yeah, but you're on rubber. So you're kind of grounded. So you're good. Okay. So be by rubber, right? So that's another thing. So you can get through any storm, guys. That is the key. Number 11, foundations matter more than the facades, right? I know we always like the facades and how nice everything looks. but the foundation of the house matters more than the trim. Appearances can impress temporarily, but your foundation, your skills, your mindset, and your principles, that determines the lasting success. I know a lot of times it's these gimmicks that draw people in, but it doesn't hold them very long. See, they only pay attention because they're curious. But then once they realize what a stupid idea it is or how there's no substance to it, they quickly lose interest in it. See, we're showing you how to strengthen your base for life and business. And I think you've got to be true to yourself. Before you can be true to others, you got to be true to yourself. If you can be true to yourself, other people will be true to you as well. Number 12, guys. Reality is the compass. Hype is a storm. Reality is the compass. Hype is the storm. Don't get lost chasing trends or these short-term wins. Let reality guide your decisions and use hype as fuel, not direction. Let me say that again. Okay? Use the hype as fuel, not direction. Okay? That's important. Very, very important. Number 13, guys, the real pieces always fit. So don't try to make a puzzle fit. There's only going to be one piece that goes together perfectly correctly. All right? In work and in personal life, the authentic connections, the skills you have, and the opportunities naturally will align. And understanding this and spotting the pieces that belong and letting go of what doesn't is key in life. So you might say, gee, I want this to fit, but you know the truth? It doesn't fit. So don't try to put a square peg in a round hole. It's not going to work. You're going to wind up frustrating yourself, wasting so much time and so much resources that it's just going to be really a problem for you. Number 14, guys, what's real unlocks freedom. What is real unlocks freedom. You know, authenticity and truth free you from stress, doubt, and societal pressure. The freedom to act genuinely is the ultimate power in your life. Number 15, guys, illusions close doors. Truth opens them. Let me say that again. Illusions close doors, truth opens them. Illusions close doors, truth opens them. Faking or exaggerating may temporarily impress, but honesty and transparency will create long-term opportunities. So you might think, gee, you know, I can do this and catch somebody's attention because I'm doing something stupid, or I can do something that's not me because I think other people have done it. It'll impress somebody. Yes, it may, but not impress them at the core. It'll get them curious to be like, what the heck are you doing? And they'll be curious in that. But then once again, they see there's no substance or there's no value, they're going to lose interest in it. And soon anything that you do. Open your doors with integrity, not illusions. Open doors with integrity, not illusions. Open doors with integrity, not illusions. That means when you're doing something, don't be something you're not. Open the door with who you really are. Number 16, guys. What's real will always protect you. What's real will always protect you. Authentic relationships, skills, and systems will shield you from setbacks and crises. Build your life with what endures. It's your ultimate protection. What endures stays around, right? That's our whole theme of the week, isn't it? This whole thing about, you know, the core that endures. And so what I mean by that is the core that endures is we're building our core this week, right? So if you build a good core, you're exercising, the rest of your body will be better, right? If you build a good core in business, the rest of your business will be solid. If you build a good core in your relationships, your relationship will be solid. Again, build the core. Building the core takes time. It's not something you're going to do in 5 seconds. I got to be honest with you. You're going to put the effort into that. Number 17, guys, peace lives in the real. Peace isn't found in chasing approval or trends. So many people I know are waiting for somebody else to approve what they've done. But you don't need anybody else's approval. Okay. And the sooner you see that, the sooner you'll realize that you have more power than you think. When you start putting your life in someone else's hand and expecting them to make you happy, that's your first mistake. Realize other people will enhance your life, compliment your life. No one will complete it. I don't care if that's a friend, that's family, it's a partner, a lover. No one will complete it. They will only compliment it. And if you think people come in your life to make you happy, you're going to be sadly disillusioned. Okay. When someone comes in your life and you're like, gee, they're not making me happy. That's right. You need to learn to make yourself happy. Okay. If they make you happy, that's great, but don't expect them to make you happy. See, it comes from grounding yourself in authenticity, purpose, and truth. But so many people get hung up with the fact that, well, I got to wait for Jim's approval. I got to wait for my wife's approval. I got to wait for this approval. You got to wait for his approval. Why? You have 2 feet. You have a smart head on your shoulders, solid back, right? Good body. You can make your own decisions and you can give yourself your own pat on the back. So if you're waiting for other pats on the back, forget it, because you're not always going to get them. If you get them, great, but don't expect it. Number 18, guys, growth is built on what lasts. True growth isn't instant. It comes from consistent effort, continuous learning, and building foundations that endure beyond the spotlight. I know a lot of people want to build because they're in the limelight, they're in the press. They want to build for that feeling, for that moment. But what happens when the lights turned off? The attention, the fame goes away. Are you still authentic? Or are you just living for the spotlight? I think that's important to realize. A lot of actors have that problem. Number 19, guys, fakes get attention. They do. I'm not going to lie to you. Real people get respect. So a fake person will get attention all day long until a person gets tired of it. But a real person gets respect. I'd rather have respect than attention any day. Short-term attention is fleeting. That's what the fakes get. Respect lasts a long time. So you get attention with respect, but a different kind of attention. And that attention lasts not because you're trying to be some mime on a stage. And if anybody here is a mime, I'm not calling you out. I'm just using that as an example. I think we've learned a lot in this episode because, we focused a lot on earning lasting impact through authenticity and action. I talked about being on the show, like Good Morning America, Good Day New York. You can pay money to get on the show to be a sponsor, and it says sponsored by. That's different than you being invited to be on the show for your true authenticity. A lot of people may not know the difference, but if you look on the bottom, you could see sponsored by. And that is not true authenticity. That's an ad. When you connect with somebody, you say, oh, hey, I'm this. You don't go into all that. You just go into the fact that this is who I am. Maybe this is what I'm doing, or this is my whatever it is. And you be true. Now, people that are not true, when you share something truthful about yourself, I'm going to tell you a secret. They're actually going to avoid you because they're living their life on a bunch of lies, on a bunch of falsalities, okay? On a bunch of whims to get attention for people like you. And when they can't get the attention, they can't get the rise, you know what happens? They move on. They don't want to talk to somebody that's authentic because they're not authentic. Number 20, I bet you thought we'd never get there. So in this episode, finding strength in what endures is important. And I think if you start to realize and take a moment to say, okay, what can I do to build authenticity? Well, number 1, do what you say. So people will say something and then it never happens. Do what you say. Be a man or a lady of your word. When you do that, people respect you. Under promise, over deliver. I'll give you per example. When I have an appointment with somebody, I'll be there between 1 and 2. I'm there usually before 2. Today I had an appointment. I was running behind with somebody. I emailed them and said, hey, I'm running behind with a client. I'll be there between 2 and 2:30. I got there 2:15. Under promise, over deliver, and people will think you're their hero. So you guys can tune in to explore practical techniques, inspirational stories, and strategies to align your life with what's real. So you can thrive, guys, personally and professionally and spiritually. And every single day, Inspirations for Your Life has like a 28-minute show, 28, 29-minute show. And I give you truth about being authentic, truth about things you may not want to hear. You might say, gee, Johnny, I don't want to do that. I want to do this the quick way. Well, you could do it the quick way and you might get a lot of attention, but you won't get any respect. You won't get any respect. Do you remember the class clown in grammar school or high school? I always thought I wanted to be a class clown, but I was taught very early on by my family that you don't want to do that. Even though this person always gets attention. I remember this one person, his name was Anthony, very nice guy. And he would always dress like a slob. And he did it to get attention. He would do things like throw airplanes during class. He was just looking to be the class clown. And he was really a nice person, but he was craving attention. His family wasn't giving it to him. So he decided he would go and try to get it in school. But that wasn't the right thing to do. Other people were kind of following him a little bit. Because I didn't follow him, I wasn't his best friend. He didn't get respect. He got attention every single day in our class until the teacher decided to put him in the corner for 15 minutes. They called it a timeout. Then when he was still getting people's attention by making all kinds of funny faces and whatnot, she told him to turn around and face the corner. And then when he was still doing things with his hand, she told him to get out of the corner and go in the hallway. See, people will try to do this to get a rise out of you for superficial reasons. It could be for money. It could be for attention, lots of different things. But they're not doing it for the true chord, which is respect, which is integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. I'll catch you real soon. Remember, always be authentic because anybody can get attention by being dishonest and fleeting. But when you show integrity, you get respect. I'd rather have respect any day. Have yourself a great one, everyone. Be well.